By now, you've all heard that Bob Bradley went on SiriusXM FC this week to talk about his season at Le Havre in France. You may have heard that Bob made some pretty interesting comments about where he thinks he fits into the hierarchy of world football managers. Now, the way that this has been painted in the media with the headlines is that Bob Bradley says he's as good as Pep Guardiola or Carlo Ancelotti or any of these other big-name managers who have made their names achieving some of the greatest things possible in European football. Let's read the actual quote to get a little bit of context here. When I have a chance to observe different managers, the ones that do good work, I mentioned Pochettino, Klopp, Tuchel that took over for Klopp at Dortmund. He's a fantastic young manager. We haven't even talked about the Guardiolas and the Ancelottis. But I'll tell you what, maybe I'm stupid, but I think I'm a manager in and around that level. I'm not saying I'm better than these guys. I haven't had those types of opportunities. But I think people that have played for me have always felt that the experience in the team was different, that training was challenging, that there were a lot of things done to help them become better players and better people. And here's the thing. The way that this is being portrayed is that Bob Bradley is overstepping his station in the World Football Manager hierarchy. That Bob Bradley is out of his mind for comparing himself to Klopp or Guardiola. I got no problem with anything that Bob Bradley said. Bob Bradley is in a profession that requires immense confidence. He's got to believe that he knows exactly what's right to help his team win. If Bob Bradley didn't project confidence, Bob Bradley would ever get hired to be a manager at all. And it's time for Americans to stop worrying about whether or not we're offending anybody's sensibilities about where we fit in this game. Bob Bradley is a very good coach. Is he as good as Pep Guardiola or Jurgen Klopp? It's hard to tell. He's never been in the same position as Pep Guardiola or Jurgen Klopp. Maybe Bob Bradley deserves the opportunity to prove himself on that level in a big-time job. He certainly worked his way up, done some amazing things in Egypt, in Norway, and now in France. Bob says he's going to stay at Le Havre for another season to attempt to get that club up to Ligue 1. That would be Bob's entry into top-level football in Europe. I hope Bob succeeds in that job. I hope he succeeds at Le Havre. I imagine that he wants to stay and get the job done. But I also hope that somebody comes in for Bob somewhere in the middle of next season, maybe even before the new season starts, and says Bob Bradley is a damn good soccer coach who deserves the opportunity to put himself in the same category as the Klopps, the Guardiolas, or the Pochettinos. Good for Bob for saying it. Bad for the way that the media has portrayed it.